This Ray J Diddy stuff is getting bonkers.
Because they want to tell me about certain things that happened with them and Diddy.
That multiple celebrities have paid money to make sure that they are never featured or sued for what happened on the Diddy tape.
Just pull you just down into just that dirty, nasty frequency.
Do it. Let's do it.
Ray J has a take on why we might not be hearing more from victims of Puff Daddy and the parties. So he claims that he knows of multiple celebrities who are doing everything they can to hide their connections to the music mogul. And the newsworthy part of this is that he thinks he knows how they're doing it. He said, and I'm quote, "I'm hearing about artists paying victims to keep their names out of it." So there's this new documentary called The Downfall of Diddy, Inside the Freak-Offs. It's on Tubi, and he said, and I quote, "Somebody has a truth. Somebody pays you to keep it quiet, and hopefully that money you got paid secures your happiness while you watch the lie continue to succeed." Also, the documentary totally free, so worth the watch. When asked about whether alleged victims are approaching celebrities connected to these alleged crimes and asking for a hush money, he said it's the other way around. It's, "I'll give you money, please don't talk." Yeah, the classic hush money makes things go away tactic. So as a longtime friend of Puff Daddy himself, Ray J has maintained that he and many others were completely caught off guard by the shocking allegations that came out after the September arrests. He said, "We've never seen the stuff that's being said and the stuff that people are finding out." He said, "I've never been in the rooms that people are talking about, and I never knew they existed." The singer also speculated about why other friends of Puffy have yet to speak out about the allegations, saying, "I think a lot of people are in shock, a lot of people are dealing with it in their own way. I hear people aren't coming out because they either suspected this about him or they don't want to have any connection to him." And then I guess there's another group who's worried they're going to get pulled in. So during the interview, Ray J appeared visibly uneasy as he described how some of the victims are being approached before any demands are made. Because a lot of people are reaching out to victims before they've even asked for anything, trying to handle this quietly. He also mentioned that he thinks some stars might view him as a potential vessel for leaks about their participation in these alleged crimes, saying now they're going to be mad, without naming which celebrities he's referring to. "I've said too much, it happens all the time, people pay off victims to keep the truth quiet." He compared it to the catch and kill practice in media, where stories are suppressed to prevent them from going public. He claims that a lot of celebrities are fearing videos are going to surface that could allegedly feature Puff Daddy in compromising situations with celebrities. He said, and I quote, "They fear the worst, that those videos could ruin them." Now his involvement in the documentary has raised questions about the extent to which some will go to protect their reputations and distance themselves from these alleged actions. And although Ray J has been very vocal, he did admit his involvement has not come without conflict. He mentioned that his comments have strained relationships with Puff Daddy's family, leading to heated exchanges, saying, "I said some things that were out of bounds, I wasn't proud of myself," and he acknowledged that it has caused friction, but he said, "But I feel I needed to stand up for myself." Now, attorney Tony Busby also appeared in the documentary and revealed that he sent a demand letter to various high-profile people with an ultimatum: pay up or face a lawsuit, and he warned that anybody involved in covering up such activities could face legal repercussions, saying, "If you were present, if you saw something and did nothing, you too are liable." This was a word of caution. He said a lot of folks risk full exposure if the truth emerges. Well, I guess when the truth emerges. So on November 10th, by the way, 50 Cent shared a post on Instagram that showed Ray J speaking about the allegations during a recent appearance on News Nation, saying, "They saying people at the church doing it." Now 50 Cent insisted that the clip may have been part of the reason that Ray almost got roughed up recently. He said, and I quote, we're gonna try and quote this, folks, "Oh, now I see why they was gonna pack Ray J out. He wildin', bro. It feels like he's saying this because Diddy down bad. I'ma harm Ray and tell him to chill. LOL." Now, these comments come on the heels of reports that Ray J nearly got into a scuffle with Puff Daddy's sons, Quincy, Christian, and Justin, at a recent Halloween party. I think it was on October 26th. According to witnesses, the trio ran down Ray J in the parking lot of a party hosted by influencer Tara Electra, and things got heated, but Chris Brown of all people reportedly stepped in to defuse the situation. I know, I'm shocked too. Ray J has since talked about the incident and claimed that the brothers and 5 other people pressed him before Chris Brown saved the day. I never thought I'd say those words, but here we are. Speaking in an interview, Ray J claimed he was essentially ambushed just trying to leave the function, and there was like 8 people around him. So later, when he popped up on Nicki Minaj's Instagram Live, he gave even more insight into that, telling her that though they didn't physically fight, he had to stand his ground during the altercation because apparently this wasn't the first time that one of the sons had rolled up on him, saying, and I quote, "No, we didn't have a fight. We had a big argument right outside the club. This time I think I got loud and got aggressive. But it was the 3rd time time this happened, so I felt like I needed to stand up for myself. He also added, even though I was talking, SHIT, and we were having a lot of crazy words, I was walking that way to avoid the issue. So that's what happened, and it's unfortunate. Ray J then went on to detail how Justin tried to engage with him at a hotel over his comments about the current legal stuff, but nothing happened. He said, Justin said, let's take a fade. I don't like what you're talking about with my pops. And they tried to be arrogant. It was in another dimension. And he said, I feel sad that violence is at the forefront of this, and we shouldn't do that. Now, several stars' past comments about all of these infamous parties have been re-examined in the wake of the 14-page indictment, which was unsealed in September and alleged that Puff Daddy hosted these elaborate and produced performances called freak-offs. Puffy and his business associates would allegedly use force, threats of force, and coercion to cause victims to engage in extended acts with commercial workers. Now, Puffy pleaded not guilty to the charges he faced in September and has very much denied the allegations against him. I know recently he proposed a new $50 million bail package that was backed by his Florida mansion, and he's hoping he's going to win his release from jail because he's been held for, I think, 8 weeks at this point on criminal charges. And he did plead not guilty to the charges that he coerced and harmed women for years with the help from a network of associates and employees, while also silencing victims through blackmail and violence, including kidnapping, arson, and physical harm, which is a heck of a laundry list of things. So as allegations continue surfacing about the oh-so-infamous parties, it might actually be a while before the public, yep, that's us folks, gets all the details, because attendees were reportedly forced to sign NDAs if they went to these parties. According to sources, these NDAs were pretty standard. It said that any party attendees could not share information related to the disgraced music mogul himself, the partners, family members, friends, business associates. You also can't photograph, film, or record Puff Daddy or anybody around him without written consent, and it very specifically named social media platforms. You can't post the photos or the videos of Puffy without permission. So pretty standard stuff. Also, and this is kind of important folks, it says do not give interviews, write books, or discuss anything about Puffy or things seen at his parties. So really, even though it's boilerplate, it does cover anything that could get the rapper into trouble. Don't worry folks, it does expire. The signed document is valid for the length of Puffy's life, plus 20 years or 70 years, whichever is longer. Sure, yeah, it's boilerplate and it's gonna take a hot minute, but it'll get out eventually. The basic gist, anybody who attended those parties needs the written consent to share anything, which I guess is why they're keeping mum. Granted, the NDA didn't keep authorities out of Puffy's business. We all know things are leaking out, including the removal of his key to the city of Miami. They were like, yeah, no, absolutely not. He was first awarded that back in 2015. They also got rid of Puff Daddy Day. Miami said nope, and I think New York also once upon a time gave him a key to this city, and they've also asked for it back. Miami Beach's mayor, Steve Miner, voted unanimously on getting rid of the key. It was a whole thing. So going back to New York, the mayor there, it's a big deal if the mayor is asking for your key back, folks. He sent a letter being yeah, no, and for that one, Puffy obliged, returned it. I know Howard University revoked his honorary degree, his ownership of Revolt was rescinded, and that's all we need to know today, folks. See you next time.